Eurobasket gold medal, still among his very highest achievements in the game. Should be an interesting contest, this one. And we're all set to go in what looks like a very full arena indeed. One or two empty seats you can see, but not that many at all. And only fitting for a contest between two of the continent's very finest operations. The introduction's almost over. Estudiantes looking to maintain that unbeaten run. I can tell you, by the way, in the other game in Group C, that Beirut have the victory over Ljubljana, 90 points to 77, which means that Estudiantes must win to keep on pace with the German team. And we're underway with Strasbourg with the first possession, but it's quickly lost. And just about the most messy of openings, it's fair to say. Logan has options, but off to go to his right-hand side, and there's Atkins drawing the foul from Landersberg. But a very decent block in the end, actually. But the official saw it differently. Two from two. And let's see if Estudiantes can get settled into the game. They shouldn't need too much encouragement. Kenny Medley to Cook. Back inside to Kenny Medley, but Atkins had got back to a good defensive position, but the shot is no good. Logan recovers. Decent screen from Leberi, but the shot is not successful. Landersberg giving Brown a chance to get to the low post, but I'll have one more try. Shot clock running down to 3. Oh, terrific drive from Landersberg. Apologies if you can hear voices. Laberi. Foul called. Neither team really settling down at this stage. There was, though, the terrific drive from Landersberg. Scored 27 points in that win over Barcelona. And there he is again, less successfully this time. Dixon looking for the way through, finds the way through Laberi. He thought he got the foul, I think, but made successful dunk nonetheless, under pressure from Bayhurst. Strasbourg then with the early advantage. Didn't look the greatest shot in the world for Kenny Medley to try. One of those who has Been on the NBA books this time, like Laberi, but can't finish the shot off after getting all the hard work behind him. Terrific alley-oop, but not quite successful. Looks great when it's finished off. Not so when the ball goes awry like that. Look much to Alec Brown's distaste. 2-point ball game then. Opening 3-4 minutes of the game in Strasbourg. Laberi has to check his momentum, gets the ball back, can he drive it to the basket? Yes, he can. Seeing an awful lot of the ball so far in these opening moments. And that more scruffiness from Salvo Maldonado's team. And this time, it's Landersberg who sees the ball go over the sideline. Turnover's pretty similar, but Estudiantes not remotely in this game right now. Here's Laberi once more. Dixon. Absolutely nailed it, as you would expect from such an experienced player these days. Landersberg tries to respond, not quite. But they'll get another try. Here's Ketkovic, Serbian. Finds Kanamedli eventually, but terrific block. Kanamedli sent packing. Atkins, the man responsible. Here's Logan once again. 2 from 2 from downtown. Got a great screen, didn't he, from Atkins. Strasbourg already opening up here. Estudiantes have to respond. We wonder if a timeout might be on the way as the shot clock runs to 5. And they've gone very, very cold already. In fact, they've barely warmed up. Here's Logan once more. Zach Wright. Laberi. Well, everything's dropping for Strasbourg right now, and eventually the timeout is called. It was only a matter of time as well. And Salvo Maldonado really with no option at that point. Everything working for SIG. 8 points in the game to Laberi. And I think the face of Maldonado says it all. Well, as the coach emphasises what he wants from his players at this point, the stats, well, say everything, don't they? Much more animated on the SIG bench. Strasbourg 75% from 2-point range, 66% from 3-point land as well. And it's just been one continuous bit of domination. 14-2, summing up the opening quarter. And we're barely halfway through. Time for Cook to lead his team into something much more promising. Landersberg, such an experienced player, much demanded of him. Ketkovic. All rather messy, and so Kanamedli can't land for 3. Arteaga in the game as well. Brown has stepped out for Estudiantes. Oh, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Laberi with a finish. And Estudiantes don't know how to handle him right now. So much space and time given to him. Arteaga only just on the court. But even so, that's no excuse. Kana Medley, can he hit it this time? Finally. Some relief for the Spaniards. Oh, that was a tough effort from Dixon Jr. Look at the determination to get there, but that's good defense. Kana Medley standing his ground. No way through. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Home crowd already into the game. Dixon Jr. thinks about another try, and there's no space for him beyond Cook. Atkins, no good. Lavery with, I think, Strasbourg's first offensive rebound, and there's the result. You just can't argue with the quality of Strasbourg's play. But Estudiantes are barely off the bus. Great drive and a great block again, Lavery. Sensational at both ends of the court. And here he is again! No, not quite. Foul, though, coming from Arteaga. Here's the block first off Kratkovic. And this home crowd absolutely adoring this right now. Penny for the thoughts of Coach Maldonado. As you see Brizela come on. So too the Swede Hansen. Two from two for Lavery. There's one of them. Quite a start to the game for him so far. 10 points. 3 rebounds as well. And he's even got a cheeky little assist in there to complete the set. Estudiantes is then under all sorts of pressure already, but that will help. SIG with fouls to give. There's one for Dixon Jr. Little nudge in the back, as you saw. Hansen with the fake. Here's Brizela. Always looking to Landersberg to get him out of trouble there, and well, the New York City boy was left with an awful lot to do. Foul called on Brizela, who's not had the greatest of introductions. And that always looked like a foul, Dixon Jr. with the step on him. Dixon Jr. Over the top, can Bilan finish it off? Yes, he can. His first points in basketball Champions League action for SIG. Hackinson. Strasbourg, red hot. Estudiantes, less so. Doesn't that from Arteaga sum things up? Bilan can't make it from mid-range. That's a great drive from Landersberg, but again, Estudiantes not getting the basket, and then not getting possession either. It's just not worked for them so far, and you'd imagine Coach Maldonado cannot wait to get them in at the end of this quarter. Here's Pape C into the ball game. And his hands on the ball. Oh, but a very soft turnover indeed. Briselis drives to the basket. Estudiantes still in single figures as well. Logan. Dix. Zach Wright just about holding on to possession. Going to get another try. Oh, it's an awful shot to try, but shot clock was winding down. Didn't really have too many options. Hackenson finding lots of space, but eventually finding a teammate. Brazela not able to pick out Arteaga. No look pass, but it was read very well. Still no luck for the visitors. Here's that right, looking to punish them even more. Bilan with the screen for C. Can he find his way to the basket? Yes, he can. I don't know that they've been as good as they can be, Strasbourg, but they are certainly performing an awful lot better than their opponents. So that, and yet again, another shot pops out. And SIG supporters in the stands have absolutely been thrilled by that. Labery's performance of real note. 10 points, 5 rebounds, and an 18-point lead after just quarter one. Let's listen to the coach.
Always go under. So I want David, Fab, okay? You start here. They will go under. You go there. Okay, back up, we screen.
Just a few words then from Vincent Collet. Coach Maldonado, on the other hand, well, you can tell the frustration. Aggressive, one of the words he's using there. Such an expressive language, isn't it? Maldonado with plenty to say. Terrific cutback from Dixon Jr. for Labery, who has not put a foot wrong throughout this opener. Linked terrifically well with all of his teammates. That was nice from Logan. And this again, the alley-oop. Labery making no mistake. Landersberg with not too many opportunities. But you would certainly expect more from the Estudiantes, who are on this terrific run. Let's not forget, 4 wins out of 4. And that is interesting. Vincent Collet opting to bench Labery at the moment. Wright, C, Logan, Bilan and Coutal on the court for SIG as Estudiantes look to put their coach's instructions into place, but it's stolen. Here's Wright, no mistake. Hackenson, Brazela, Fichedo, Sudon and Arteaga for Estudiantes, but it's not changing anything right now. Here's Hackenson, Sudon, again, doesn't land the jumper. And this is turning out to be rather embarrassing at the moment for Estudiantes. At least they get possession, which is not what the home crowd thought it would be, and certainly not what that man Vincent Corre does. All sorts of bemusement on his face. He just loves beating teams from Spain, or indeed everywhere else. Brazela looking for a way through, but once again it turns out to be a blind alley. Logan continuing to light it up. 10 points for him. The lead out to 22. Extraordinary. Brazela finally gets a screen from Sudon and finds the basket as well. Bilan. Here's Logan once again. Oh, it's just so easy for him. Almost strolled down the lane. Well, that's a bit more aggressive, though. Sudon, the Croat. And finally, whisper it quietly, the Estudiantes into double figures. Bilan. Oh, lovely pass. Cotal. With again so much time given the freedom of the lane. Here's Sudon looking somehow to spark something. Ball out of play. There's that pass that found Cotal. That's why they brought Bilan in, MVP in the Adriatic League, as Lelou comes onto the court. Bilan, well, he can't find room there, and it's a turnover. Håkansson. An awful lot of movement up ahead of him. And once again, that was frankly nowhere near. Heaven knows what sort of reception they're going to get in the locker room at half-time here, if this continues it for Estudiantes. Bilan. C. He's fouled there, surely. Yeah, Brown, the man. The judge did it. No, that's Tretkovic with the nudge in the ribs. A little unnecessary when Brown had the situation covered. First foul, though, for the Serb. But C goes to the line. Rebounding, telling its own story at the moment. 17-6 in Strasbourg's favour. But Estudiantes, 29% from two-point range, not even 15% from three-point land. Disappointing in all respects so far, but still time for them to get back into this, even with a 24-point deficit to make up, as Tretkovic has found himself this time. I think it's Bilan with the call. Just a little nudge, and that's all it needs. Håkansson. He had another shot, goes right, but this time a rebound is Tretkovic. No mistake. They're going to need more of that, aren't they, Estudiantes, if they are going to get back into this game, or indeed into this game at any stage. Simple cut back for Bilan, makes no mistake. Easy as you like. Kenny Medley eventually finds Ketkovic. Pichedo's on the court, waiting in the corner, but it's Kenny Medley who has another try. Terrific drive, draws the foul. And Lulu is the man to blame there. Always lost the initiative there. It wasn't that. Just a simple, gorgeous move. And finally, Estudiantes get their first chance from the line. It's only taken them just over 14 minutes to get there. 2 from 2 though, Kenny Medley. Never thought he would be playing for Azerbaijan when he came through high school. C creates a space for Bilan, opts to shoot, but terrific block from Brown. And once again, he's not successful. This time, though, no mistake. Miro Bilan. (23) the lead. Landersberg back on court. Here's Ketkovic from the corner. Not quite. And if SIG could finish things off right here, right now, no question they take it with such a commanding advantage here. Bilan looking for C, doesn't quite find it. Ketkovic on the fast break. Tries to go himself when he had options. Sat right, closed the door. Oh my word, that's very nearly the easiest turnover for Landersberg, but it goes beyond the baseline. Here's the block. Oh, athleticism personified. Atkins then rejoins us. Kenny Medley. It's just been cold all night so far. The Spaniards. Not what you would expect from a team unbeaten in the Basketball Champions League. Foul called. Let's watch that again. Caught out. Well, it was rather telegraphed by Omar Cook. Well, there was contact. And foul called, even though the home crowd didn't like it. Frankly, Estudiantes need all they can get right now. Open space for Ketkovic. No problem. And timeout called as well. Maybe that's the start that Estudiantes need to get things back on track as SIG decide to break things up and call the timeout. One of the rare moments of bliss so far for Estudiantes. Let's listen in though. Well, Strasbourg with plenty of assists there, but Estudiantes' offense has just not got going so far in this contest. Bilan will take a break. That might be all we've seen from him in this first half. And he's certainly made an introduction. Just 6 points, 4 rebounds. Not that many of them offensive rebounds, but there's no question that SIG have dominated off the boards. And just 3:27 to play in the half. This man's had a good break. Not that he wanted it after the first quarter he enjoyed. Right. There's Kepkovic in close attention, and the Serb finally ends up getting possession, forcing the turnover. Landersberg for 3, not quite. Laborie, inevitably it seems, with the rebound. What about Leloup for 3 this time? Shows him how to do it. Nothing more that you can enjoy as a club to see hometown talent, home country talent succeeding. That's a nice pass. What a block that is! Zach Wright all over Landersberg. Just had no opportunity in this encounter so far. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Landersberg with a bit more room for manoeuvre. That's what he can do. Still not the greatest quarter in the world, but there's only 2 points in it as far as the second quarter goes. 17-15 in favour of the French, and there's another turnover. Oh, what a jump that is! Alec Brown taking no resistance whatsoever there, despite Laborie's best intentions. Lead down to 18. 9 turnovers there for SIG, as you see. Perhaps a little complacent. Laborie tries to get on the end of the alley-oop. SIG can cut the lead even more this time. Movement is so much better now. Not quite the shooting, though. Dixon Jr. just winding the clock down. Luke with a similar mindset. Right, though. 5 seconds on the shot clock. He's going to have to fire it up. Oh, magnificent. Looked totally off balance. Was a shot of desperation, but how these home fans enjoyed it. 83% from three-point range, amazing stuff. Cook with the second chance points. Approaching the last 30 seconds. Dixon Jr. very nearly another miracle 3. Still time for one more possession after this. Kenny Medley loses it. And this time this should be the last possession. Right. Can't have another miracle 3, can he? Oh. Backcourt violation, is it? Looked like it. Did terrifically well for the steal. And the Estudiantes will set up to try and close the half in a much more impressive fashion than they've spent it. That first quarter is going to hurt them, you would think, unless they can produce something truly spectacular in the second half. And Coach Maldonado looking a little calmer than he did early on. 8.3 seconds remaining on the game clock. Look at this shooting though from SIG. 71% beyond the arc, 60% inside it. 5 from 7. for three. Here it is from right. Oh, that's a tight call, isn't it? He doesn't enjoy it. And maybe, just maybe, Estudiantes have got the benefit of one call. Such a difficult game to officiate, however. Well, they're enjoying themselves, aren't they? And they'll enjoy this first half, whatever happens in these remaining seconds. Landesberg, the go-to guy. Can he get room for the shot ahead of Leloup? No, he can't even find his teammate. End of a terrific half for SIG Strasbourg. Looking to gain pace on the likes of Venezia and Banvit. And they couldn't have asked for more in that first half. A very, very healthy lead of 19 points, in which they were much the quicker starters, dominating scoring. Estudiantes figures picking up after a woeful first quarter. Rebounds, no doubt as to who's won that particular battle. And Strasbourg's just so much more effective in offense and in defense. And you would think that Coach Maldonado will want to close the door rather rapidly and get into his players. Laborie, star of the show so far. Kratkovic offering the most resistance so far for the visitors. Do rejoin us for a second half, very shortly indeed, because the Estudiantes were banging form going into this one, and they'll be keen to get a fifth win on the trot when we return. Dixon Jr. involved right from the off. Landesberg with very few opportunities in the opening half. Watch this play. Laborie, star of the show, right on hand to finish off. A nice work from Dixon Jr. Drive to the basket once again. Logan, very successful indeed from three-point land. Wonderful casual from right to find Bilan. Right again, same combination. The Croat finishing things off. His presence inside Bilan being noticed. And you think the more games he has for SIG, the more effective that he's going to be. Rare opportunities have been snuffed out, either from blocks or poor play from Estudiantes. How about that? Logan, alley-oop to Laborie. Such a joy to see players getting excited themselves. Dixon Jr. All very, very solid indeed. Logan, incidentally, 2 from 3 in threes. Pape C was brought on late in the first quarter, but he certainly was visible, as of course was right. Here's Logan once again. Everything they touched, Strasbourg, just turned into something very special, particularly in that opening quarter, but they didn't lose their intensity in the second, in spite of much improved play from the Spaniards. Kratkovic chiefly responsible for that second quarter rally. That was probably the best moment of the half from Alec Brown for Estudiantes. And Brown involved defensively as well. Kana Medley getting the foul there as well. Dixon Jr. always able to pick out Laborie at the right moment. The art of a terrific point guard being shown consistently in this first half. Laborie just frankly doing nothing wrong, even getting the bounce of the ball on the rim. Logan back to Laborie. Dixon Jr. once again. So much to enjoy for the fans in red. When you consider that they lost to Beirut narrowly, it has to be said, by just the 2 points, nearly 280. It's been a very, very impressive start for them. Do join us in 10 minutes for the second half.
Allez, 30 secondes encore pour les jeunes Benjamin et Benjamin du collège de Notre-Dame de Sion.
Welcome back to the Rennes Sport Arena, where the home team, SIG Strasbourg, have had much the better of it so far against inform Estudiantes. 45 points to 26. Louis Laberie, the star of our game so far, very much the MVP with 10 points and 6 rebounds. Kvetkovic, also prominent there is Laberie. Sat out all of nearly 7 minutes of the second quarter after a dominant first quarter. 80% inside shooting for the super talented power forward. He has been stashed away on a stash pick, in fact, by the Knicks all of a couple of years ago. Terrific rebounder. We said in some American parts that, unlike Zach Wright, he has an ugly shot. Well, not pretty effective in the first 20 minutes of play. And we're expecting him to come out on court for the second half. I think you can hear Vincent Collet in the background giving last-minute instructions.
Not too high the screen. If they go under, we screen. Darian down, okay? And David all the way. Coupé. Egypt. If they go under on the ball screen with Luis, he's re-screening. You go very aggressive. Luis down, David behind. Watch David, okay? Let's go. Allez. Go.
Wright, Atkins, Laberie, Leloup and Dixon Jr. to start off for SIG. As for Estudiantes, well, we're expecting Kvetkovic, Cook, Landesberg, Brown and Kana Medley. And these fans can't really expect much more from their team, but do not underestimate the possibility of a Spanish comeback here. Landesberg has got to start delivering. Very poor half by his very high standards. Just 2 from 9 from the field for him. And we're about to get back underway. We'll ignore these starting fives that I gave you. Completely wrong. Here's Logan, I beg your pardon. Pape C is on. Atkins, Laberie, C, Dixon Jr. and Logan for Strasbourg. Brazela, Cook, Souton, Landesberg and Savane for Estudiantes. And an early foul for Savane. Called on Savane. Didn't get a single second in the first half. And already picked up a foul in the first 17 seconds. Dixon Jr. looking for Laberie, as you would expect after the first half he enjoyed. It doesn't land the shot, and you can see why Savane's on there straight away. 39 years of age, but 6'8". His job very much to give Laberie somebody to think about. Brazela drives to the basket, makes 2. Better start for the Spaniards. Logan thinks about taking on Brazela, but instead floats it to C, and that's a good finish. Draft pick by the Atlanta Hawks all of 7 years ago. From a long way from Wyoming, but still delivering at, what, 29 years of age. Landesberg doesn't know how not to deliver. When there's pressure on him. Now, if they can get some defense, that gap just working its way down. And Dixon Jr. failing to be as hot as he was in the first half again. Maybe Estudiantes fancying their chances here. Kratkovic for three, or almost. And once again, the Strasbourg backcourt just taking their time, as you'd expect. There's a bit of a mystery why Savani wasn't on in the first half at any stage for Estudiantes, but he is now. Great drive, but ultimately unsuccessful for Atkins. Brazela with his energy. Oh, that's poor. Very wasteful indeed, that from the 22-year-old. Oh, but a turnover. Here's Omar Cook. Well, he's not going to get the basket, but he's certainly going to get the foul. Much to the displeasure of Dixon Jr. Here it is again. Well, with that hit to hit, not quite sure why Dixon Jr. is complaining there. Cook to the line then. Omar Cook, one of those players who, when he went one and done after time at St John's, people were tipping him to have a terrific future in the NBA, but as I think he's broadly admitted these days, maybe shouldn't have done that in the end. 1 from 2 for him. The lead for SIG down to 14. Laborie with plenty of attention, but in the end they opt to give it to Atkins, but there was a foul. There's that on Savani again. Oh, I beg your pardon, it's on SIG, and it's Laborie that's been called. Apologies for that. Cook for three. Oh, no problem. And a very decent start to this third quarter. Is there a bit of disquiet in the stands? 10-2 run at the start of this third quarter. And this is so much better.
We work on the vision. When we play loop, the foreman, he has to move all the way. If they deflect here, we pass in the ball back there, and we come from opposite. Now we just work. Okay, defense, we don't shit. We use the big man.
Well, apologies for the language there, but I think you took the point from Vincent Collet. Just walking back was the accusation from the coach. He wants to see much more aggression. Maldonado, on the other hand, almost with a little smirk on the corner of his lips there. Now, can they follow this up? This was lovely from Brazela, just firing it up. But Pape C responding. Landersberg has certainly found his range now. 8 points to him in total. Cook has started going, and Coach Collet decidedly animated with the gap down to just 11. This one's not over, ladies and gentlemen. C. Logan to Bilan, who's now on court. Doesn't have too many other options. He's got to do it all by himself, and Savani responds with the block. And he's changed the game in part. He's not done an awful lot spectacularly, bar that block, of course. But suddenly, the points production isn't quite so smooth for SIG. Here's Cook. Oh, finds Souton all in space, and he can't miss. And suddenly, the deficit is down to single figures. Terrific finish. Thought he could have had a foul there on Laborie. But it's 9 points now between these two teams. Back to 11 though, thanks to Dixon Jr. Very interesting game now. Sutton, Brizela, looking very much part of this team now, despite his young age. Here's Sutton for three. Never really looked on target. Great drive from Logan, but Laborie takes it out beyond the baseline. Much his frustration. 10 points in the first quarter. Not a single point in the third. 10 points, 7 rebounds though, all told. SIG just needs to change the complexion of the third quarter at the moment. Cook. Here's Petkovic. Sutton. Opts to go it alone, and that's a terrific bit of work from the Croat. Evaded Laborie with a degree of comfort. Dixon Jr. finds the pass for Bilan. And they need more of that from the Croat. Do SIG, up to 10 points now for Bilan. Beg your pardon, just the 8. There's Landersberg, all on his own. And Estudiantes can't find the basket again, but there's going to be a foul called. Sutton smiling away. As much in frustration as anything else, you'd have to say. Landersberg fires it up, but there was just a little obvious foul there. Don't think you're ever going to get away with that one, my friend. Right. Has a screen from Laborie, and he takes full advantage. Home crowd still in this. Terrific atmosphere inside the Rennes Sport Arena as Cook brings it all to a quiet. 10-point margin. Estudiantes would love to get that down to somewhere like 5 before the end of this quarter. Laborie has room. Oh, terrific pass, but it deserved the finish from Bilan. Dixon Jr. got himself into a great position. Landersberg playing a lot more energy along with his teammates. Has to find pass from Sutton to find Savani at the post. Eight points the margin once again. Still just over 3 minutes to play in the quarter. Bilan. Right. Shot clock at 7. Foul called. And Bilan might get a chance to get, well, not, it is a foul, there's no question, from Cook. But you can imagine the home fans taking exception there to the reaction from Bilan, even home fans perhaps. Cook with his first, 14 on the shot clock. Lelou into the game. Right, Bilan. Can he go all in alone? No, he's fouled by Sutton. Just a hint of frustration on the expression of Salva Maldonado. There is the foul. Croat on Croat. Second foul rather quickly there for the Estudiantes version. And finally, It's Strasbourg who go to the line with Bilan. Terrific atmosphere once again inside this arena. They're off to bigger premises just up the road in 2 or 3 years' time. Plans already advanced for SIG to go to a 10,000 arena, 10,000 capacity arena in 2020. Gotta wonder if the atmosphere is going to be as good as it is inside here. 9-point game. Still Estudiantes who've never led. With it all to do, but Cook, well, he travelled there. He thought he was going to get the foul. But SIG thought it was a travel right from the off. Another turnover for Estudiantes, and it's will surprise many who saw the first quarter that there's so few turnovers being committed by the Spanish outfit. 9-point game, 2.5 minutes to play in the third. Dixon Jr. drives down the lane. Can he finish it off? Oh, superb. Seven points, 7 assists to the American. And the Georgian international, of course, Kretkovic. Estudiantes need to respond here. 11 points down. Here's Landersberg. Not quite. And yet another rebound for SIG, but it's wasted in the end by Wright. Just one of those things. Dixon Jr., though, with a terrific finish in the end. Off balance and under serious pressure. Kana Medley back into the game, along with Brown for Estudiantes in the blue. Here is Kana Medley. You drive from the low post, not quite. Oh, good finish. Nothing Lalou can do about that. Seven points to the Azerbaijani international. Oh, that's wild from Lalou. He's never really got into this game so far. And the lead back down to 9. And you have to wonder if Landersberg can pull off a tray. Well, how close can they get? Landersberg off the court, mind you. Kana Medley. Kretkovic. Here's Cook from way back. Always seemed optimistic. And we're inside the final minute of the third. No prizes for guessing that the home team will take their time, but why bother when you're producing shots like that? Dixon Jr. up to 9. 11 points the lead. Just getting away from Estudiantes. Have they left themselves too much work to do? Well, they've got to be more precise and execute. And the call from Colle is quite simple. Take your time, boys. Here's Wright, though, to finish off. Oh, simply sensational. Wonderful pass to find the American and the Bosnian international. Dixon Jr. picking him out. And Wright does the rest. Not a lot that Alec Brown could do about that. Terrific stuff from the SIG backcourt. Wright with 9 points. Dixon Jr. 9, Logan 10. Dixon Jr. incidentally 9 points, 8 assists. But Bilan with contributions as well. 9 points, 5 rebounds. And of course earlier on, Louis Labery, although he's not been nearly as effective in the second quarter, 10 points, 7 rebounds. Maybe this little run might just have snuffed Estudiantes' hopes out. It's not beyond them by any stretch of the imagination, though. But they still have to stop this fantastic scoring from SIG. 62% from three-point range. Hansen back in the game. And looks as if he's drawn a foul from Atkins. Quite a performance this from SIG. In pure shooting alone. 56% inside the arc, 62.5, as I say, from beyond it. Estudiantes have to find something quickly. Here's Kana Medley. Under that much pressure, he never looked like finishing and took a heavy fall. Foul called on Wright. Wright with 2 fouls now. None of their players really in foul trouble. Actually been very, very few fouls called in this game compared to some. Kana Medley then from the line. Former Monaco forward, looking to take this team forward into the knockout stages, but if they are going to maintain this unbeaten run in the group stage of the Basketball Champions League, then Estudiantes need a final quarter to remember. Mind you, they won that quarter by 8, 23-15, so an 11-point margin to make up. It might not be too far away. Let's hear what the coach says. They have really improved massively on that dismal opening quarter. Estudiantes 25-7. They were down. They still lost the second quarter, but only by a point. Let's hear what SIG coach Vincent Collet has to say.
Michael, Jeremy, you go behind, hand off, and you go, take the screen, okay? He goes down, follow, here, okay? Hey, but look first. Hey, first time, hey, wait just a little. Perhaps first time, if he's open, we play.
Few of the thoughts from Coach Collet as we see some of the highlights of the third quarter. And as you can see, it's been a Estudiantes period. Cook, he's looked good from three-point range. Cook now with 10 points in the game. 9 for Kana Medley. But is it just too much for them to make up? That was a nice finish by Sutton. And again, the spin from the big Michigan State player. 6'10" of him, very experienced these days at 32 years of age. Seems an age ago that he was winning Croatian league titles with Simona. Well, can Estudiantes pull off one of the great comeback wins? They've never led at any stage, and they're down by 11. Hansen, Brazeda, Fichedo, Brown and Kana Medley on court. Here's Kana Medley. Looking for 2, can't find the basket. Wright, Atkins, Leloup, Dixon and Bilham for SIG. Dixon Jr. gets the screen from Bilham. Can he finish it off? Oh, not quite. That's been rare in recent moments. Kana Medley for 3. Makes it. Back to an 8-point game. Every game matters in this Basketball Champions League. Reduced format with 32 teams involved in the group stage, really working out Dixon Jr. Oh, finished off, not quite by Billan. And it's another turnover. What a rebound for Estudiantes. Kane and Medley for three, not quite. That would have made things interesting. The crowd certainly don't think this is done by any means. Right. Looking for some help, but there's a foul. And Estudiantes will be quite happy just to keep breaking up the SIG momentum. Hakanson with a rather obvious foul. Logan. Laborie in close attendance. Atkins, oh, gives it away. Brizela, oh, terrific block. Zach Wright, right on the money when his team needed it. It's just dismissed, wasn't it? Brizela thought he'd got it. Hakanson. And there, not quite from Brown. Rebound on the SIG side. 8 points the margin. 8 minutes to play. Atkins looking for some room. Doesn't need it, gives it to Wright, can't finish. Laborie, was he fouled by Brown? He doesn't think so. He does. Well, it's Laborie that's frankly wrestled to the other ground, but what a swat that was from Wright. Laborie goes to the line. Estudiantes, though, with real quality. I told you about that win. 90-80 over Barcelona in the ACB. It was a terrific win, and to be fair, it had been coming. As Estudiantes land from distance. Hakanson, the Swede, stepping up to the plate. And now it's 6 points. Yeah, that Barcelona win. Landersberg contributed 27 points in the end, but it was the fourth one out of 4. And SIG know the quality of the team they're up against, which is why points like that from David Logan matter so much. Hakanson, was that a foul? Yes, it was. Probably a good foul for SIG to give. Wright called for the foul. Brown. Kane Medley. Hakanson. Oh, great pass from Hakanson, and that deserved the finish. Vicedo, who's been very quiet. What vision there from the Swede. Back to 6. Game not done yet by any stretch of the imagination. Logan can't find the net. Oh, and that's a foul on Brizela. Though the home crowd think he just slipped. Foul called on Laborie. Inter can't quite work it out either. Let's look at it again. You make your mind up. Well, there was the nudge from Wright. And you can see why it was given. But that was not quite the best slip from Brazilian. Well, that's something to consider for Coach Collet, right on his 4th foul. So back comes Dixon Jr., rather more quickly than he would imagine. Let's look at it once again. You be the judge. It's a clear shoulder in from right. And, well, we're going to see extra shots here, Brazela. Something's been said. Needs this second, gets it. Crowd still not happy. Unsportsmanlike it was called as well. So possession back to Estudiantes and a 5-point lead. Håkansson makes it a 3-point game. The nerves starting to show inside the Rennes Sport Arena. Dixon Jr. under pressure from Håkansson. Foul called on the Swede. It was subtle, but yeah, you saw the knee on knee there. Into the game comes Bilan once more. Laborie, been very quiet in the last couple of quarters. Tough finish for him to take on. A Trey can level this up. Håkansson, he's looked hot recently. Kana Medley, back to Håkansson. Oh, just never looked settled there, Laborie, just putting you under pressure. Dixon Jr. Laborie. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Bilan doesn't have an awful lot of options and can't finish either. Pressure building on SIG. They led by 24 at one stage. And there's, oh, that's so poor from Brazela, but was that a foul? He's looking for a foul. He's not going to get it. Let's see what happens. Nah, he's just lost it before he's made contact with Lelou. And that's rather average from the man who's come through the system. Former Spanish under-20s player. Dixon Jr. finds Bilan holding space. That might just settle a few nerves. Double figures now for the Croat. He's on 11. And he's got the last touch there over the sideline. 13 still on the clock, 5-point game. Logan with 13, Bilan 11, as is Laborie. 9-2 for Dixon. So the points being shared around for SIG. As for Estudiantes, well, Cook's got 10, but Kana Medley looking their main route to the basket with 12. And here he is. Has Laborie for company. And that was an average shot to take on, but second time around, it worked out. Finished off by Vicedo, I think. 3 points in it. Less than 4.5 to play. Logan, no good. And it's Estudiantes' ball. Terrific game. Oh, was that a charge? Yes, it was. Cook can't quite believe it, but Dixon Jr. had every right to stand his ground there. He knew exactly what he was doing, and it sparks an SIG timeout. Let's listen to Coach Colley.
Okay, we can do loop-end, but be careful the V-cut. Loop-end, we do it. Miro first screen, Louis second screen, okay? Miro first. Là, okay. Wait, là, here. David with the ball to start. You go, okay? And when we cut, he goes away.
No te ves, adelante.
All sorts of passion on the sideline here, all sorts of passion in the stands. They still believe. Very even contest this, looking at those stats, in spite of what was anything but in the opener. But you look at the quarter-by-quarter scores, 25-7 to SIG, 2019 the second, and then 23-15 for Estudiantes, and currently 14-6 in the final. This could go either way now, and you wouldn't rule out overtime, with, of course, Estudiantes getting through the qualification round to get into the group stage via an overtime win over Groningen, I should say. Strasbourg still with a foul to give, but they have the ball. Logan Dixon Jr. is handled very physically by Cook, doing all he can to disrupt the point guard. Oh, but he responds magnificently. 5 points now restored to the lead, and he enjoyed that one, didn't he? Cook, who's not been the fans' favourite in Strasbourg, but that's a fine pass to put Kana Medley in. They just will not be denied, Estudiantes. Absolutely clattered his way to the basket for the and one. Kana Medley with the assist, Suit on the finish, and Lalou with the foul. Important that Suton finds the extra, and he does. 68-66, just over 3.5 left. Hope you're settled in nicely wherever you're watching this on live basketball TV.tv. Logan leads them all in merry dance. Bilan, here's the space for Lalou, not quite. Cook, this possession to either tie it up, maybe even give Estudiantes the lead for the very first time. Suton, Kana Medley in motion. Cook, out to Ketkovic, shot blocked, gets the rebound though, can he make sure of this? Oh, not quite, doesn't even find the basket, but it's possession SIG. And we've 2:51 to play. Terrific block. Wasn't close enough. Home crowd with SIG right the way throughout this contest. Here's Bilan looking for room, gets the shot and the extra. That's why they brought him to the club. All over Suton. And the power to deliver. Moments like that can change games. And they'll be hoping for a lot more moments like that from Bilan in his career in the Alsace. 13 points to his name now. Leading scoring jointly at the moment with Logan, but now all his own on 14. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 5 points the lead. Cook with a deafening cacophony in his ears. Can he finish off? Oh, well, that is how to respond if you're on the road. Cook with 12 points to his name. Here's Bilan once again. Well, that was not quite sure what he was trying to do there. Estudiantes grateful for the turnover, though. Inside the final two. Suton, Kana Medley rather. Back to Suton. Has Cook to his right-hand side. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Landersberg fouled. Surely the basket won't count because there was a travel. And the man who led Barcelona a merry dance just a few days ago. Well, I think I could dance better in that particular possession. 3-point lead though. Still not secure in possession, Strasbourg. That was almost above right. He's back on the game. Back in the game, rather. Gets past Landersberg, doesn't find the two, but Bilan will finish it off. They're just doing enough in SIG. Bilan thinks he's got the game. We'll see. Minute 10 to play. Foul called on Bilan. And Cook will go to the line. Third foul, but that shouldn't matter all that much now. And probably not that bad a foul to give with Cook so dangerous from distance. I'm assuming Cook makes the second from two. It's all down to the Estudiantes defense. 2 from 2 as you'd expect from Cook. 3-point game. Right then, setting the tone from point. He was tempted to go for glory himself. In the end gets it to Logan. Logan looking for room. Here's Bilan. Very messy possession indeed from SIG, and here's the chance for Estudiantes. 46 seconds remaining. That was awful. Wonder whether Maldonado was tempted to call a timeout there. Still plenty of time though. And here we go. Omar Cook. Oh, finds Kenny Medley all on his own. 1 point in it. The comeback nearly complete, but they're not yet there, Estudiantes. Crowd are on their feet inside the Rennes. Dixon Jr. Oh, dispossessed by Cook, but there was a foul. Cook thought he got the steal. There it is. Oh, you can see why he went for it. Was there to be shot at, but just caught the hand. So now it's Dixon Jr. from the line. Every basket matters now. Great game from Dixon Jr. as well. 12 points as it stands right now. 10 assists, 5 rebounds. But the digit that matters is 3. SIG 75, Estudiantes 72. Couldn't be much tighter than this, could it? As the Spaniards take a timeout. They have come back magnificently though. Trailing as they did by 24 early on in the first. Who's going to be their go-to guy? Is it Kenny Medley inside? Or is it going to be Cook from the outside? Let's hear what Collet has to say. Difficult to make out there, unfortunately, that particular occasion. The key thing to remember, as I think Wright and Dixon Jr. were saying, is they're behind. SIG fans may feel like they're losing, given the streak that the Estudiantes have been on. And in all honesty, it shouldn't be this close, but it is. Great comeback from Coach Maldonado's team. And there is distinct worry on many of the French fans' faces. Just under 22 seconds to play. Kretkovic. Cook. Kader Medley. Very close in attempts there. Landersberg. Here's Brown for three. No good. Rebound on the Estudiantes side. We're inside the last 10. Foul call. Foul called on Logan, on Kretkovic. And remember, of course, 2 points not enough. Didn't look remotely like an unsportsmanlike foul, so they're going to have to foul to get the ball back. 8.6 seconds left. SIG perhaps with a little more comfort than they've had in some time. Kretkovic, solid with the first. These the moments where all that practice can make the difference. 2 from 2. Estudiantes down by 1. And timeout called. So what's the instruction? SIG calling the timeout. Instructions pretty clear from Coach Colley there, weren't they? Look for Wright to take the ball and draw the foul. Estudiantes have to foul quickly if they're to give themselves a shot. And they'll have to work on the basis, of course, that they can get that early foul, be 3 points down, and force overtime. It's looking unlikely, but you've seen stranger things happen on a basketball court with so few seconds remaining. 8.6 then left in the game. And there is the foul on Logan from Kretkovic. And a good foul as well, just a second and a half lost. So Estudiantes should get time to at least tie the game at the very, very least. Logan, no problem with the first. And safe and sound from the second. And the Estudiantes will surely call a timeout. Yes, they will. Not the greatest from the line. SIG, if you miss that that stat, 86%, 87% in free throws, 92% for Estudiantes. Bear in mind, Coach Maldonado's team have never led. The biggest lead at one stage for SIG was 24. They've been dominated on the paint, 38-28. That apart, it's actually been a very even contest, although perhaps SIG with more production in the paint. 52% shooting inside the arc to 45%, 46% in fact. Great finish though to this game, which looked highly unlikely when SIG won the first quarter 25-7. And the SIG club can be proud of the show they're putting on for these fans. Great atmosphere in the group stage of the Basketball Champions League, and while they'll be delighted with the win, they'll be relieved with the win. Estudiantes will go through the roof if they pull this one off, though. It would be a heist to beat most great robberies. Now, can they pull this off? Kretvic finds Cook in space. Will he get the shot away? He will. Can't land it. It's off the rim. And surely that is it. Bilan is fouled. Just with a few seconds remaining, it seemed, but that is it. And a fantastic contest in the end between two teams with differing form going into it. And perhaps a bit of a shock with Estudiantes losing their 100% record. They lose their first game in the group stage in Group C of the Basketball Champions League. And SIG, who made the playoffs last season, very much in contention to make it out of the group on this particular occasion as well. Definitely with the advantage in shooting, SIG, and Sutu off the boards there, as you can see. So many spectacular blocks in this this game as well. A real feature of the game. Bilan leading scoring for SIG, 16 points. Zach Wright, very, very vigorous in the backcourt as well. Steals, blocks. 1 or 2 turnovers, mind you, as well. They're your leading scorers. Cook, Kana Medley, really getting Estudiantes out of a hole in that second half. Just not enough to finish the job off. And you can't not but enjoy this, no matter what age you're at. Landersberg, very quiet by his high standards. Even though he produced only 8 points, 3 from 12 from the field. For a richly talented player. The Israeli international just not able to live. And how good it is to see the SIG players giving thanks to the crowd for what has been a terrific atmosphere inside the Rennes. Laberi, well, he had his moments in the first, and Omar Cook with a chance to take us to overtime. Couldn't quite land it under severe pressure as he was. All sorts of excitement. Bilan will be back for more. Here's full stats, 16.7 rebounds, 1 assist, and there's the Group C standings at the end of game day 3. Beira now the only team unbeaten, 3 from 3 for them. Estudiantes dropping back to 4th. Venezia and Banvit winners last night, but it's all very tight indeed, with AEK not to be discounted, back in 6th with just the 1 out of 3 wins. And the home fans will be leaving very, very happy indeed. Should be an interesting game actually for SIG next time when they face Venezia in game day 4. The Estudiantes, well, they will more than fancy their chances against Olympia, with Beirut to come in game day 5. These some of the key moments of the contest. Cook, well, he certainly found his range in the second half, just when Coach Maldonado really needed him to. Fascinating for me why Savani wasn't brought on in the first half at all. Susan had his moments too. Lovely spin and turn there, wasn't it? Zach Wright had his moments as well. Dixon Jr., though, probably the mainstay of this SIG team. Kana Medley. Well, he was very effective in that second half and seemed to be the only outlets at times for Estudiantes. Fadeaway jumper there Very well taken indeed. How about that for a finish from Zach Wright as well? Elliott, terrific find from Dixon Jr. You don't mind watching this over and over again. Kana Medley's trait late on gave the Estudiantes real hope. This was a moment that changed the game potentially. Estudiantes really on the hustle, and there the swat from Wright. Absolutely great to see, unless you're based in Madrid. And then Logan with 7.5 on the clock. Wonderful vision from Dixon Jr. throughout this game. Bilan on the receiving end there. Space a little trickier to find the later in the half we went. But it was there in quantity. Enough for SIG Strasbourg to win this game, and their fans already on the way home. Terrific night's entertainment. And SIG win it 77-74. From us all at the Basketball Champions League, it's goodbye.